You did it. I'm so proud.
I know.
Okay. Okay. Hey, nerds. We are so excited about this week's guest. The amazing Britney S. Lewis is joining us to talk about her latest YA novel, Blood Moon. If you've ever loved a story that's a little eerie, a little heartfelt, and totally unforgettable, this one's for you. We get into her creative process, how she brings emotion to the page, and what's next in her magical, otherworldly universe. Welcome to the show, Britney.
Yay.
Hi,
Woo.
thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
We're so
Yay.
excited.
Yes, we are very excited. We can just kind of start with like a basic question, like what kind of sparked your love for storytelling, for writing? What got you into that?
Yeah, so I like to tell a story that I never dreamed of being an author, but I was always a writer. And that is mostly just because when I was in third grade, I got a diary from the Scholastic Book Fair. And I just started documenting my entire life because I thought, why not? There's a lot happening during recess, and I have a crush on this boy next door, and I can write all these things in my diary, and it was so much fun. But I did not think I would ever like write a book, and it wasn't until I was in high school, and I was still journaling, believe it or not. But I was in high school, and I had just completed the Twilight Saga, and I was in my first ever book slump. And I was like, I don't know what to read anymore. Also, like YA was kind of still new. So I was like, I don't know what to read anymore. And I want something that's like this, but with like more diverse characters. And since I couldn't
Mhm.
find it yet, I just decided to start writing my own stories. And that's kind of how it all began.
Nice. That's awesome. Okay, so we're obviously going to talk about Blood Moon, but
Mhm.
what, like I was telling Brittany Stacy before we
Mhm.
started, I know her from her debut novel, The Undead Truth of Us, which I read and I really, really loved. Can you tell us like how you got the inspiration for yeah, it's such a
The
beautiful
cover's so
it's
pretty.
so yes, amazing. I love
Oh,
it.
it's so
If
good.
you're watching, you can see the cover.
Yes.
I know I have it. It's way over there. Oh, and here's Ashley. So
This is
sorry. So
Ashley.
sorry. No, you don't be sorry. But so for your debut novel, The Undead Truth of Us, which explores zombies, and I like to wreck it, but I tell people like it's a zombie story, but not like your traditional zombie story. It deals with grief and friendships and like loss. How did you come about writing that? And
Mm.
yeah, like what was kind of the inspiration for that story?
Yeah, the inspiration for The Undead Truth of Us was like a mash of things in my last year of college. And I wanted to write about heartbreak and grief from a different perspective. I've always loved horror as a genre because I feel like with horror, you can really dive deep into the emotions of the human psyche by forcing them to feeling something, which is usually fear, but then you also have other emotions that can get explored as well. And I wanted to write about heartbreak. And I felt like at the time in college, like I used to compare it to like always like wanting to fall in love, but like never really falling in love with the right person. And how like boys really just like wanted you for like all the best parts of you, which was like your heart and your brain. And it's kind of like, you know, like a zombie going after the best parts of you.
Mm.
Mm.
And so I love that you guys were like, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
actually,
I
literally,
get
I
it.
was
I
like,
get it. I
actually, yeah,
get
that makes
it.
sense. Yeah. Hmm.
Um, so I decided to write a book from the perspective of this girl who can see zombies, but no one else can see them, and figuring out why this is happening to her. And so these zombies end up becoming, you know, more than just a scary thing on page. They also highlight a metaphor in her life. And I really wanted to just explore that. I also wanted to explore like what it felt like to be kind of like displaced. I think I write about that a lot. And in this case, Zari, our main character, her mother has passed away, and that's like her only parent figure in her life. Her dad is estranged and living states away, and she ends up moving in with her auntie, who is like not very happy to have to like take on this child all of a sudden. This very teenage child. So there's just a lot going on, and that's kind of how I got the idea and the start for the Undead Truth of Us.
Hmm. Yeah,
Ooh,
that's
I'm gonna have to read that one.
yeah, it's really good. I
I get
think
all my recs from Chanel too, so.
yeah, yes. And I think you guys, both of you would just really like it because it just deals with grief very well. And there's
Mm.
just so many metaphors. I loved it. Like you described it perfectly, obviously. A lot of metaphors, a lot of themes, and I just really loved it. It was really good. Um, can you tell us again before we get into Blood Moon, quickly, maybe if it's a long story, how you got published?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
I know
totally.
you talk about this a little bit on your social media, and you're like really transparent about like your publishing journey. But yeah, if you could just tell us maybe like some positives or some negatives with the publishing industry.
Yeah, yeah. I'll sandwich it all together because it really has been overall, I would say, a great experience getting into the industry. I mean, getting to the industry, like when I first started writing and deciding that I wanted to actually publish and I wanted to go the traditional publishing route, it did take a long time to get in the door. So I would say that, once I decided that I wanted to become an author that's published, I started looking into how to get a literary agent, which generally involves getting a query letter put together and finding someone that's going to be ideally the perfect fit for your story. And that is really the hardest part because I had no experience. I was like 17. I didn't know what I was
Hmm.
doing. And that came with a lot of trial and error. And honestly, I wouldn't change it for the world because
Mm.
I got so much experience. Like, learning how to write a query letter really developed my love and my sense of like wanting to be like a marketer because I had to find a way to market a story to someone that like I didn't know, and how could I make it feel and sound good, as good as I hope that the book is, right?
Hmm.
So I had to do a lot of tweaking, and every time I got closer to getting a yes from a literary agent, I felt like yes, like I'm almost there. The issue is that I did not get very close for like years. So I didn't get my first literary agent until after college. And I actually was doing a pitch contest on Twitter at the time. And it was called Pit Mad. And essentially, what happened was it's like a whole day where literary agents would be looking at pitches from authors online. And if they liked your book, then they would like your tweet, and you could then query them your query letter, and then also like your first 50 pages. And so I had two agents like my pitch, and one of the agents offered representation, and I was like over the moon, so
Hmm.
excited. We immediately started working on edits. And then I quickly realized, maybe like 9 months in, that this was a smagent. So, what we call a shady agent in the industry.
Mm. Oh
Oh my
God.
I know.
God, not good.
I was like, oh
Not
God,
good.
not good. I thought it was gonna be
I'm
like, oh,
locked in
it's
now. I'm like
perfect.
ready
Yeah.
to like what made you realize like what or yeah like what's I'm like what
What's
Yeah.
the
So,
tell?
you don't know what you don't know. Okay. And this was like my first time ever. I didn't have any author friends. Like, I was
mm,
to everything. So, I didn't realize that this was a shady agent because I didn't know what the norms were.
mm-hmm,
And when I started becoming like more active in the writing community and listening to other people's stories and understanding how other authors worked with their agents, I realized like, oh my God, like this is so bad. And it was clear about Ortega, who was talking a lot about her first experience with her shady agent back in like, I don't know, whenever she had a podcast. And I was like, okay, how do I get out of this? And I also realized that because we were on submission, which is basically when your agent sends your book off to publishing houses, and hopefully an editor at that publishing house wants to purchase your book. So we were on submission for over a year, which is like not the norm. And we were hearing nothing. Like, we had maybe a couple of rejections, but there was no feedback. I was getting no follow ups. My literary agent was never responding to me. If I asked a question, it would take like a month to hear back. I just didn't know with like what the regular situation was supposed to
Hmm.
be. So when I realized that, I quickly got out of that relationship and I started working on a book that I was in love with. It was a book that was about time travel that would eventually become my sophomore novel. But at the time, I was not able to find a literary agent with that book. And then I started immediately writing The Undead Truth of Us. And by the spring of 2020, I was querying the book and I started getting a lot of hits. And it was like the most I'd ever
Mm.
had. And I just was like, oh my God, like there's something here. This is so exciting. And then my now literary agent, Caitlin Detweiler, who is a literal angel, she's incredible. She ended up offering representation, and we've been together ever since. So that's kind of how I got my
Awesome.
foot in the door with getting the whole situation started.
Yeah.
What a journey.
I know that is
Yeah.
wild. Like, but you kind of had to go through the slumps a little bit
Yeah.
gosh, that's crazy. Do you like when you meet other authors or like newer authors, do you like kind of take them under your wing and talk to them or like give them advice since
I
you
try to.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
Hmm.
so hard because there's so many newer authors. Like they like, everyone's just like popping up all over the place.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think the biggest thing that's helped me feel like I could give back to the community was running my blogs. So I in college when I was like actively querying and getting rejections while going to classes, I was like documenting everything online. And then I decided that I would move that onto like my current website. And so I have been trying to keep track of everything that I've experienced in the process, and then publishing it so that people can have access to it whenever they wanted. So it would
Mm.
be like a list of people that said yes, how long it took for them to say yes, or like what the experience was looking for a literary agent, or even getting like a traditional publishing deal, like how that worked for me. And that's been the easiest way for me to connect with other authors. I feel like once I started in the industry, I was definitely like in everything, trying to help with everyone. And then the further you get into the industry, the less relevant your experience kind of becomes. Um,
Yeah.
and also like the more overwhelmed you might get as well. So these days I like have less people under my wing, but I still try to like bring them along.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so transitioning to Blood Moon, what was like yes, was there like a specific moment, like idea, like what kind of sparked that inspiration for that book?
Yeah, okay, so Blood Moon, my love child. I love this book. I love all my books, but Blood Moon was like a book that was written in a very dark winter for me, and I just like I had finished my first 2 novels with my first publisher. I didn't know what I was going to write next, and I started this email chain with myself back in the fall of 2022, and it just was like an empty email header, and the inside of it was just like "Blood Moon?" question mark, and I had no idea what that meant for me or what I was gonna be doing with it.
Mm.
But I would like soon start responding to myself, and it was like, "Oh, werewolves, ooh, vampires, ooh, university maybe, magic." And then I put that idea aside, and because it was the coldest winter in the Midwest in a long time, I was snowed in and I was watching everything. And
Mm.
I started my rewatch of The Vampire Diaries. Okay, but the thing is, The Vampire Diaries came out in 2009. So when I started
Mhm.
watching it, like it was like an addiction because of like Twilight, and then I left
Mhm.
because I was just overwhelmed with the idea of getting into another fandom. I started rewatching it and I quickly fell in love with like Bonnie, especially
Mm.
Bonnie, Elena, like all the characters. However, my love with Bonnie and my obsession with her became quickly turned into anger because like by like, I don't know, the sixth episode, like she had already died once. And then as the season continued, like for the first season, she'd died
Mhm.
3 times. And I was just so upset about this happening that I like stopped watching and I immediately started writing like Blood Moon because I was
Mm.
like, this is crazy. Like I was so excited to see this Black woman who comes from this powerful line of witches
Yes.
lore, right? Like
Mhm.
set up so perfectly in the first season to
Perfectly.
just become like a character that moves everyone else's plots along.
Mhm.
And
Mm.
I was so frustrated, and I just I couldn't stand the idea of like being othered again. And really, truly, like, while I like to say that I started writing Blood Moon right after that, the truth is I actually started watching a TV show called Siren, and that really pissed me off. And then I started writing Blood Moon. Um, has anyone heard of Siren?
Is it was it like the mermaid one?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, dude, I watched that. It was good. You guys missed out. As soon as you said, I'm like, not the new sirens, like the when they're all like blonde and Australian and like, is that the
Oh,
one?
no,
Okay,
no,
never mind.
it's
It's a
a new
different one.
one. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
There's one, it's on, like, I think it's on Hulu, but it was like, a freeform TV show. Listen,
Mhm.
this girl, right? Her name's Ren. She's a siren. She just shows up in this Pacific North Coast small town, whatever. Okay. But it follows these other two marine biologists. One of them is a Black woman in STEM, and she has a super
Mhm.
hot boyfriend. Like, he is really hot. Okay. Then the siren comes into play. Okay. And at first, it's like, oh, they all like each other. Like, they all actually liked each other. It was like a polyamorous
Mhm.
relationship. And then boyfriend's like, actually, I really like this siren instead. And then they slowly kick out the Black girl as the season continues. And I just was so upset. I was like, okay, I can't. I can't. So yeah,
Wild.
that was
I'm
my
not
No.
gonna need you
I
anymore.
was thinking there was like I'm thinking if there was another one that was like it wasn't that, but I was thinking of another one that was on Netflix a few years ago, but I think it was probably before that. But yeah, it was all like blonde people, but
Do you think that was
um
maybe a reboot of it?
probably.
maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I was also obsessed with Vampire Diaries, and Bonnie was one of my favorite characters too. And I thought the same thing. And I guess I didn't really know a lot of it until later, especially on TikTok when Kat Graham talks more about like her experience with the show and stuff. And then I don't think I realized how much it really is like her character moving all the other characters
Mhm.
around.
Yeah.
And I listened to an interview that she did where she also like her and the guy who plays Damon, they had talked about how they thought that them two should have ended up together on the show, like that both actors like agreed, thought it was good, and they were like, no, no.
So sad.
I know
Yeah.
it's so sad, but that's how I saw an Instagram post you put for this book about how it's like, oh, Vampire Diaries, Bonnie, and like mixed together with like Twilight. And I showed Chanel, and she already knew who you were, but I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds great. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah. 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 I couldn't watch Vampire Diaries because Elena just annoyed the fuck out of me. So I had to stop watching. I got like a couple episodes in. I was like, I can't do this, girl. So
Well,
I
That's not your phrasing.
cannot relate. I'm sorry. Her, Catherine, there's like two of them. I don't know. They were annoying me.
There ends up being like three or four by the end of it. I don't like remember all of
Yeah.
it. There's like even more that show
I
up.
can't. This girl's killing me. So I had to stop. Okay. Um, so you obviously were inspired by the Vampire Diaries with like your characters, but in the book, did you like bring any like personal experiences or any personal influences into like the themes of Blood Moon at all?
yeah, absolutely. I think so when I talk about like the actual writing of Blood Moon, I like to say that like the Vampire Diaries re-sparked the idea that I was like kindling for a while.
Hmm.
And so I already had these characters established. Like I knew that I wanted Mira to be this main character who deals with this hidden anger, right? Like I knew that she would have like this relationship that's confusing with her mother because she loved her so much and then she just left one day. And so what does that do to a person who is starting all these new things in their life? Like how does it feel to go off to university and be moving in and seeing everyone else around you with like all of their parents or their family? I feel like it really changes your perspective of the way that you look at the world. And so Mira, I hold close to me because I felt for a very long time that I couldn't be angry and I couldn't express anger because it was a bad emotion and because women aren't supposed to be angry. Um,
Hmm.
and it wasn't until I realized like way later in my life that anger is such a healthy way of expressing a moment like a very There's a fly, sorry. It's so big. Sorry, anger is one of those things where it's just temporary, right? It's not like a forever feeling, and it really just depends on what you do with anger that makes you a bad person. It can really
Wow, yeah.
change someone's perspective of you. Like if you think about the Joker, for example, like the Joker movie that recently came out, you get a chance to empathize with the villain because you're learning more of their backstory and why they became who they are. It doesn't make them necessarily like valid in their choices that they make that are bad, but it does give you a better understanding. And so I knew with going into Blood Moon and then writing Mirror specifically, I wanted to play with these themes of anger and what do you do with that anger. And then with other characters in the book, I knew a lot of those motives would play off of anger, right? Like you can react based off of something that's happened to you in your life and decide how to move forward. Maybe that's getting revenge, maybe that's a heist, like whatever it might be. It just depends on the character and the story. So that was one thing that was personal to me that I really wanted to influence in Blood Moon.
Hmm. Kind of like to piggyback off that, like, was there a really hard like scene to write? Yeah, in the story that was difficult for whatever reason.
Yeah, the book in general came really fast to me. I actually wrote the entire first draft in like 4 weeks. It was not
Oh,
great,
wow.
but I did like get the whole story out within that time frame, and it will never happen again. Um, but I will say the hardest part for me to write was like going back in edits after we had sold the book off to a publisher was writing. There's a scene between Mira and her dad where they're kind of like arguing in their house. And that was an unexpected, like hard scene for me to write. Not because they're like having this argument, but because the way that Mira loves her dad and the way that her dad loves her, and that love is different for both of them. Like they experience it differently. That was a really hard thing for me to do because I ended up really, really loving Bobby as a character. And I'm like, man, he's such a good like dad. Like I want him. Like I want him for my dad. And so it became a really hard scene for me to write just because like I was so in awe of this character development that I had accidentally made within Bobby, and then he ended up becoming, like, one of my favorite characters
Yeah, yeah.
in the book.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You're like, I knew everyone else would like Julian and Seven, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's almost like in Twilight when everyone
Yeah.
loves Charlie and it's yeah, yeah, and Carlisle.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's really
unintentionally.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
awesome.
because dads can have that good dads and books can have like good emotional depth and like, yeah.
And become zaddies, right? Is that what
Oh God.
yeah. Um,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so what would you say like you would want readers to feel or come away with after reading Blood Moon? Like, is there like an emotion, a theme, a highlight?
Hmm. This is always a hard question for me because I think immediately of, like, the ending of Blood Moon, and I know it ends on a cliffhanger, and I know that that's really, like, frustrating. So I think I expect readers to be a little frustrated, like,
Just a little
I
mad.
expect just a little I expect, like, a slamming of things, like a gasp, like, maybe throwing something across the room. Like, those are all normal ways to feel, I think. But I think overall, I want readers to I feel like the themes of there's always something under the surface is a big tale of Blood Moon, and I hope that that's something that, like, sticks with you, especially as you get through the last act and everything's kind of coming together, and you're just like, "Oh, oh, oh," and then the book ends, and you're like, "No."
Mhm.
Those are my thoughts, yeah.
Okay, how did you come up with the title Blood Moon? I mean, I know you kind of said it was random in an email, but like was that symbolic of anything or
It wasn't. I think, like, it became symbolic, but the title, honestly, I was like, "What am I gonna do with this?" Like, I
Mhm.
was like, "There's a moon, there's gonna be a wolf, blood, I don't know, maybe I'll add vampires in there." Like, it was just the
Mhm.
most random thing ever, and then I was like, "But, oh, this really can be a huge, like, theme in the story. How can I
Mhm.
Mhm.
actually thread this in?" So I did a lot of, like, research on the cycles of the moon, on an actual, like, blood moon, like, when does that happen? How often does that
Mhm.
happen?
Yeah.
And then, like, the themes around, like, a blood moon, right? Like, what do people in the universe say about a blood moon happening? Like, what does that mean to the humans that are walking around and this thing is happening? So then for blood moon to come out the eve of a blood moon was just
Oh,
Mhm.
wow.
the
Chef's
wildest
kiss.
thing. Yeah, I was like, "What? This is crazy." Not planned at all. We had pushed the date back so many times, and it just so happened to fall on a blood moon.
That's so crazy.
Mhm.
And that's
That's
cool
cool.
also, like, you obviously built the story a little bit around the blood moon, but that's very cool. Okay, because I just remembered, can we talk about the artwork?
Yes,
Yes,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
beautiful.
because
Stacey
I was
pulled it
showing
up.
my
Yeah.
beautiful owl
Let's talk
crate.
about the owl crate artwork. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, what are the
I can't stop
artists?
looking at it.
Yes, for the owl crate special edition
Okay,
specifically.
so there are a few different artists, and I will just let you know that with the Alcrate edition, this is basically so Alcrate is a company and they do book boxes, right? And
Mhm.
they reach out to publishers and they're like, hey, I like this book. We want to do a special edition of this book. So they reached out to my publisher. And then when we all said, yes, it sounds like a great idea because why not? We then started partnering together. But the cool thing about Alcrate is like they had an entire vision for what they wanted the special edition to look like.
Oh,
Wow.
So they had like a theme set out, they had like a color
Mhm.
palette set out, they had artists already picked,
Mhm.
and they were showing me like their portfolios and kind of the theme that would tie in with the entire thing, with the entire book. And I was immediately obsessed. I think the first piece of artwork they showed me were actually these edges, which if you're
Mhm.
listening, it's
Wow.
like blood spilling over a cup onto a moon and then cycling over
Mhm.
again. And I
Mhm.
just thought that's so cool. They
Mhm.
actually read the story. That's wild.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But as far as the artists go, there are, let's see, one, two, three, four, five, six different artists that worked on
Wow.
this book. So there's one artist for the cover, and then there are different artists for the end pages, and then for the sprayed edges, and for I think there's a different title page as well.
Mm.
And all of their information is also tagged on my Instagram post that I made of them because it's a lot of them. I won't bore us by reading all of their
Yeah,
names.
yeah, yeah.
But there is
Mhm.
a lot of people that worked on this book to make it what it is, and I think that they did an incredible job.
so
Amazing.
pretty.
Did you have to give
Mhm.
like permission, or did they like ask you, like, was it more like this is what it's gonna be, or did you have to like kind of like approve it?
I definitely got to approve it, which is great. It was more of a
Mhm.
partnership. I mean, they were definitely driving the car, right? So,
Mhm.
like, when they had the cover, they were like, "Okay, so here's a sketch. Here's what we think,
Mhm.
we want the cover to look like."
Mhm.
And I saw the sketch and was like, "Oh my god." Like, it was basically almost done. Like, I was like, "This
Mhm.
is incredible.
Mhm.
I mean, her hair needs to be bigger. Like, can we make it bigger?
Yeah.
Can we make it
Mhm.
curlier?" And they're like, "Okay, like what works realistically, like in wind? Okay, this is fine." But so they would show me a concept, and then I had like every right to be able to change it, which was great. So even with like the inside, like
Mhm.
cover art as well. They would tell me that they had an idea for different things that they wanted, and then they would tell me the artist that they're going with, and then they would start showing me each step of the way. So I was able to
Mhm.
like add small details like, "Oh, can you make sure that Mira has like fingernails and toenails?" It's so small, but like
Mhm.
it felt important to me because if you're looking at a piece of art and then you look at their hands and they have like nothing there, I just thought that that would be strange.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then my other very favorite piece of this edition is the reverse jacket, which is the dorm that Mira stays in.
Oh, yes.
So cool.
Mhm.
Pretty. It is. Oh,
And there's a little some
oh,
eyes in the woods
oh
there.
yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with this piece. It's my favorite piece because it like is the first thing I ever saw from the book that I had in my head, like of it coming to life.
Mhm.
And it
Mhm.
was just so pretty. Like I got excited about the story all over again because
Yeah.
I got to see just a piece of the university and it made me so happy.
It is really cool. Like you said, I love I love special editions, and obviously like that you can tell that they read the
Mhm.
story, or they know the story. So that's
That's what I say. Even the wrap
Yep.
cover of the actual book is so cool. Like all the
Mhm.
little details in it and everything
Amazing.
is really great.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I highly like I would work with them again in a heartbeat. Like they were just so great to work with and like really passionate about what it is that they do. And I just
Mhm.
you don't get that experience often because sometimes it's
Hmm.
really like they're just like churning out materials, but like
Yeah.
they were very intentional every step of the way.
Yeah.
That's so
I,
cool. I
I
love
love
Owlcrate.
Owlcrate.
Me
I
and
was
Chanel
gonna
talk
say
about
I
this all
love
the time. I
Owlcrate.
was on the wait list to get a subscription for almost 2 years for them. I finally got it. So I'm very happy because I love all their
Stacy
editions
made
so
it.
much. I
Same.
was. I was so pumped that I finally got it. I texted Chanel. I was like, oh my God, the day has come.
Yeah, Owlcrate. We are big Owlcrate fans. So
Mm.
yes, that's you've made it, Brittany. You've
Yeah,
made
you've made it. Yeah. Hmm.
it.
Oh my god. So many vows.
Well, speaking of making it, like has the reaction from like readers, from fans, like, being officially like published with this book, has that like surprised you? Is that like, I guess, how are you feeling now that you're like, on the other side of things?
Yes, I am surprised. I'm surprised every single day. I'm never not surprised. I'm always in a state of shock. Like, what? What? And every time I get new news, I'm just like, what? Um, I don't know if I'll ever get over it. I think that like being on the opposite side of Blood Moon was really hard for me. It's different. It's a different experience than my previous experience in publishing. It's a new publisher for me.
Mhm.
It was a new deal. I don't talk about it a whole lot, but like, I got barely nothing like selling this book. Um,
Mhm.
pennies, I mean, not pennies, but like it was very
Yeah.
little. And so like I still work a full-time job. And I have a part-time job as well. So like writing this story was like one of the best things that I really wanted to do for myself in that moment of space that I was in at that time in my life. And I was so nervous that we weren't going to be able to sell it. And we almost did not sell Blood Moon. And it was just like we had just like one publisher that said yes, genuinely, like right before Thanksgiving into 2023. And we were like, okay, we're doing it. Let's do it. And so when we started doing edits on Blood Moon, I just really found myself in a state of like being in love with this idea and this dream and like having this weird like gut feeling that it could change my life, but also being so like attached to the story and this idea that I knew that once I published it, it would no longer belong to me. And it's the reader's story now. And like at the end of the day, regardless of what anyone's saying about this book, it's so subjective. And so I had to make sure to
Mhm.
like put a barrier between myself and reviews because I'm such a sensitive person. And like, I couldn't take, I wouldn't be able to take so many like negative reviews. And I only try to look at the positive ones. So I don't actually
Mhm.
go on Goodreads or Storygraph. But if people tag me in positive reviews, I absolutely read them because now I'm tagged in them and I'm like, yeah, what did you think?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Mhm.
But even like with I star reviews and stuff like that. Like those were always really nice to read, and I have absolutely been stunned and amazed by the readership that has fallen in love with Blood Moon and the characters and the story. Like I just am like, wow, I can't believe you guys think of like the story in that way.
Mhm.
So yeah.
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
so more that's like more of like a bigger scale. How do you feel like, because I know you went on tour, how are
Mhm.
you feeling like being face to face with readers and like getting the like direct response to like readers' reactions to Blood Moon? Like how has that changed? Or even just your other stories as well.
Yeah, I mean, with Blood Moon specifically, it was the coolest thing ever because I've never experienced anything like that in my entire life. Like I just
Mhm.
first off, tour was a wash. Like I barely remember any of it because it happened so fast. And I was like in 7 different cities in 10 days. So it just like
Oh.
happened so quickly. But I do remember like the audience reactions, and I remember these moments of meeting readers and like them sharing like how they felt about reading the book, or like what it meant to them, or even like giving me like letters. Like I have like a collection of like things that people have given me, or like someone made me a very tiny version of Blood Moon, which was so cute.
Mhm.
And those moments to me are just like irreplaceable because I just can't believe that we're all connected because of this story. With my first 2 books, it's totally different because it's in the horror genre and it's so niche, right? The
Mhm.
horror genre in general, like, this is gonna sound kind of funny, but the readers they're so nice. They're so much nicer, they're really
Mhm.
sweet, and they're smaller. So I didn't go
Yeah.
on tour with any of my first books, and the being able to hear, like, what people thought about those books were very few and far between, and then stepping into, like, the fantasy romance space, it is chaos because there are a
Mhm.
lot of readers, and they have a lot
Mhm.
of opinions. And so when you find
Sounds
the
about
readers
right.
that are like down for you, like they will go for you, and like they're just like, hey, we're here, we got you. So the feeling
Mhm.
is just so different.
Mhm.
It's scarier for sure. But I'm happy
Yeah.
to be like I'm happy to be afloat and in the area.
Okay, well, that makes me think of another question. So, like, how did you like transitioning
Oh
from
yeah.
like one genre to another? I guess we didn't really talk about that. Like,
Mhm.
what was
Oh,
that like? And then I also want to ask you, okay, well, answer that one. Answer.
okay, the transition from horror to fantasy. I
Mhm.
mean, they're all under the fantasy umbrella, but I guess let's just say like paranormal. Ugh, damn, they're all paranormal, but they
Mhm.
are different because this is a
Mhm.
series and it's more grounded in like I would say traditional fantasy
Mhm.
elements. My first 2 books were like speculative horror, and they really played with the idea of like having a spook on the page. Like, how can I lead you in this mystery and find ways to twist the story and like psychologically play with how you're perceiving this?
Mhm.
Fantasy was harder, like traditional fantasy, like with what Blood Moon is, especially it being a series, was so much harder because while it is grounded in our world, kind of like the horror novels, I had to actually develop a lore. I had to create a world, and I've never done
Mhm.
that before, and it was very um it was a lot of fun, but it was also very difficult because I just didn't know where to start, and I was overwhelmed by this idea of feeling like less than. Like, I've not done
Mhm.
this before, so, like, how can this be believable? Like, what can
Yeah.
I do to, like, like, really, sell this on page? When with horror, it was just so much easier because it's like, "Oh, like, we're in our world, but this girl sees zombies," or it's like,
Mhm.
"Oh, she accidentally time travels," but it's to another place that's like our world, but
Mhm.
not, so it's like, I it's just so much harder on the fantasy realm, and then also with, like, a love triangle, that's a new thing. I've
Mhm.
never in my life had multiple people interested in me, so I had to really become, like, creative.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Imagine. Like,
So
what would
what does
this be
it feel
like?
like? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so now that you're like a best-selling author,
Oh, man.
what and you said you were working on, I'm assuming, the next book in this series.
Yeah.
How have you like how has it been different? How is writing different? How is like thinking creatively different? Are you still on the same page as far as the story, or have things changed now that you're famous?
Famous.
Mhm.
That's so funny. Okay, so yes, things have changed, and I will tell you the biggest thing that has changed right now is that writing the second book in the series and also planning the third book in the series has been extremely difficult because now I'm under a lens, right? Like,
Hmm.
people know about Blood Moon. Now there's expectations set, and
Yeah.
I have to try to filter out these set expectations and continue writing the book in the way that I had planned before all of this happened.
Mm.
So then how do you do that and, like, survive? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
figuring it out. So, like, so it's, like, twofold. It's, like, my nemesis and also my best friend. Like, I want to, like, be in love with this story, but I'm also afraid to get close to it because of the fear of it not being good enough. And
Mm.
that's been the hardest part with writing the second book in the series. It's like, yes, like hitting number one on New York Times is incredible. Now
Hmm.
I have to give them things that are also like at
Hmm.
least equally as good as
Mhm.
Blood Moon. So it's been a challenge, just to be real. It's been a challenge.
Yeah,
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. It seems like a lot of pressure.
yeah. Thanks, Stacy.
Look, I mean, I don't,
Look,
I,
Stacy's
It
stressed
is.
for you. He's like, that's a lot of pressure.
I know it's not even me. I'm like, man, I am stressed. I don't even, it's like not even about me. And I'm like, I'm stressed for
I'm
you.
stressed.
For
But
sure.
Stacy does want Owl Crate addition to the
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah. I mean, I obviously, yeah, I have to
No
have
pressure.
it.
No pressure.
Me too. No pressure. I mean, I'm hoping that they're like, hey, yeah, so let's keep this going. I would
Yeah,
Hmm.
die.
that is
I
true.
um But just to your point, like, it's funny. Like, it is a lot of pressure, and I, like, am totally okay with that. It's fine to admit that, like, this is harder than I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
And also, like, I'm still excited about it. Like, the more that I've been writing the second book and all of the craziness that will also happen again in the last act, because I can't not do that. It's just, like, my thing for all of my stories. I just have been like, yes, this is going to be so exciting. But also, I keep opening this bucket of chaos and it just spirals out of control every single time. So it's
Mm.
been a roller coaster.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's get it. Probably also like is like good fuel to the fire to be like, okay, I
Yeah.
gotta keep going because can't stop. So yeah, it's good. Um, kind of could you tell us a little bit about like your writing routine? Like, do you have any special like rituals? Like,
Hmm.
do you play like music or does it have to be like quiet? Is there like a certain room you have to be in, or do you like go to a cafe?
Mm.
Or also do you are you like a big planner as far as like having um what
Like a plotter.
yes, like a yes,
But yeah, yeah,
yeah.
clutter, cancer.
Yeah.
As far as my writing rituals, they have changed a lot.
Mm.
Um, Writing Blood Moon in prior books, it felt kind of like, like a romance, like, movie, like, when they, like, have the author and she's just, like, deep and diving into things with her glasses on and everything's, like,
Hmm.
beautiful and there's, like, a song playing somewhere. That is how I looked at writing all of my books prior to Blood Moon, and even with writing some parts of Blood Moon, it was similar. Um, and in that, like, a perfect idea of writing for me would be, like, I'm in my office, in a perfect world, it's raining outside and my, like, windows
Hmm.
cracked open. There's, like, maybe lo-fi beats playing, and it's just, like, dimly lit with, like, a candle, and I'm just, like,
Hmm.
crouched over my computer like this, writing. But the reality right now is, like, I just write wherever I can, and because I have decided to make my own life chaotic outside of being an author, I really am, like, squeezing in, like, writing time. So a lot of the times I'll wake up early before my day job, and I'll either, like, write on my couch, like, bundled in blankets, without barely doing anything else than just crawling out of bed, and, like, with a cup of coffee in my hand, I'll just, like, start writing. And then I sometimes write in the evening, but it's so, so hard because I'm always distracted in the evening
Hmm.
time. So early mornings work really well for me. And then I will do, if I have to do an evening or an afternoon, I will force myself to go to the cafe because the chaos of everything else happening actually helps me focus a lot more.
Mhm.
I just love the smell of coffee, and I love that people are like living their lives, and I'm just like tuned in. So I've been doing,
Yeah.
that's been like the bread and butter for me the last 3 weeks. I've just been forcing myself to go. It's been great. I've been spending a lot more money, but
Yeah,
It's fine.
It's gonna be worth it in the end.
Exactly.
That's funny.
But it's so true. Like, I mean, I'm not writing a book or anything, but if I'm at home trying to do something, I will be so distracted with nothing versus like if you go out and like, yeah, set yourself up to do something. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been telling people that I'm romanticizing my life again, right? Like I'm just gonna be the
Love
author
it.
in the coffee shop writing the book, and I'm doing the thing.
I love that. Ashley's big in that right now. I mean,
I'm
everyone
trying.
should be, but yeah,
I'm trying.
romanticizing life.
We'll
Mhm.
see how it goes.
Yeah.
Keep us
Yeah,
updated.
keep us updated. I feel like I'm just like barely living most days. It's okay.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Okay, we have a few quick fire questions and then we'll wrap this up. Okay, I'm curious about this. What would be your dream book adaptation cast for Blood Moon? Like if you could pick, we can do like the three, we could do, Mira, Julian, and Seven. Like who would you cast for them if
So hard.
if they were making like a movie or a TV show?
I am the worst with names, but I actually have a real question. Like I have a real answer for this now, and I have to go to my Pinterest to get you an answer.
I love that you have a Pinterest because I live on my Pinterest board.
Love Pinterest.
That's
Actually,
our Pinterest.
my routine for writing, I will like I give myself time to scroll on Pinterest for like 10, 15 minutes because it gets me in this idea of like being
Mm.
creative. And then I'll be like, okay, cool, I'm done pinning things. I actually have to do the thing now. I love Pinterest.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
Love it.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
I'm such a visual person, so it helps me be able to like visualize things by like just looking at like quick images of stuff.
Mhm.
So nice.
You're better than me. I'd just be scrolling, scrolling. I'd never
I
get
would
to the
never
writing
stop.
part.
Yeah.
Like
Never.
I've written 5
You know,
words, but I've pinned 50 things.
it's like you hit one pin and then you're like looking at all the ones it suggests and you like end up
Yeah.
I've
so
gone
far
down
away
that rabbit hole before. I'm like, I gotta get out of here.
I gotta get out of here.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Okay. So for the girl, I have to figure out what her actual name is, but she was in, I don't know if you guys have seen Hocus Pocus 2,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but it's the main character that's in Hocus Pocus 2.
Yeah.
I like was talking to someone recently and I was also watching that movie and I was like, "Oh my god, like that's Mira." Like if we got like a
Mhm.
TV show, that's
Like,
who
I want to see her.
I know.
I would want Mira to be.
Oh,
And let's see.
focus too.
Her name is Whitney Peak. Whitney Peak.
Yeah, here.
Yes. I know who she is. Yeah.
She's so
Mhm.
pretty.
She's in the new Hunger Games movie, isn't she?
She is?
Is she? That looked like
Yeah.
a yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's gonna
That's a
yeah.
perfect casting.
Yeah,
Right.
she's gonna
You're
be
right. She's gonna be Eleanor Dove or Lenora Dove.
Lenore
Lenore
Dove.
Dove. Yeah, she's
You're
Lenore
right.
Dove.
Okay,
Mhm.
sorry, we're getting
As soon as I saw that photo, like the first one that popped up on
Yeah.
Google for her, I was like, "Oh my God, it's Lenore Dove."
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That is wild.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh,
Job.
okay.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
a good pick.
I love her. I think she's just like, yeah, I think she'd be perfect. I'd also think for 7, it's a little bit harder because like finding there has not been enough like young adult films with like black teenagers in them. So
Mhm.
it really has been difficult. But whenever I was writing 7, I had the idea. There's a basketball player. His name is Jalen Green, I believe. I think that's his name. And Jalen Green. Whenever I see him, I think of
Oh yeah.
and
That's
I
like
just
kind of how I pictured with his hair like that.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
his hair
Yeah.
big and I mean he's such a cutie.
I kind of pictured your brother.
My brother plays
Don't kill it for
basketball.
Ash. Don't
I'm
kill
so
it for
sorry, but I
Chanel.
pictured Kendall.
But he does not look like that.
That's so funny. And then okay, Julian is
Basketball
also
player.
hard
Seven's
too.
a football player.
Or whatever it is. Still
It's
no
close.
sports.
It's close. Sports.
Playing sports.
Oh God. Okay, sorry, Brittany. We're getting
No,
off.
you're fine. That's just so funny to me.
Shout out
Okay.
Kendall.
He's a black kid that plays sports.
It's gotta be him.
Oh my God. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Julian's also really hard because again, like there's not a whole lot of like Hispanic young adult characters,
Mhm.
but a guy I did come across recently who I think would like embodies what I think Julian looks like. His name is Emilio Sacria, maybe. I'm probably saying his last name wrong. The issue is, while he is actually African, he's not Hispanic. He's African and then I think German.
Oh,
Mhm.
ooh.
Yeah, but like he
Yeah.
looks ethnically ambiguous. So I actually didn't know that for a while. However, visually looking at him, I'm like, yeah,
That's
like
what he.
I,
That's what
yeah,
Julian was.
Mhm.
like I see that for Julian for sure.
Yes. Yes.
And he's actually an actor too.
Yeah. He
But
could be. He could be.
Hmm.
Ooh. He could be casted. Okay, Emilio, you're hearing this.
Amelia.
And if Jalen Green wants to,
like
do
come to the
staff,
acting side.
Yeah.
little side gig in the future.
Exactly.
Because they always cast 30-year-olds in
They
I
stage
know.
issues, so well,
Always.
yeah, it'll work out. Okay, for you, what would you say is like, I guess besides Vampire Diaries, is like a favorite comfort movie or favorite comfort book that you like constantly go back to?
Mhm. I haven't been able to do it in a while, but for a long time, my favorite comfort book was Everything, Everything by Nicola Yoon.
Mm.
And that is because it was the first book that got me back into reading again after like
Mhm.
getting out of college. And it was also one of the very first books that like I was able to read that had representation because it was before like The Hate You Give and like it was
Mhm.
just a new experience for me. So Everything is a comfort book for me. And then comfort movies, there's so many of them. Some of them are horror movies, to be honest with you. Like, I love The Haunting of Hill House and Bly
Oh,
Manor.
it's so good. Oh God, it's so good. I love Bly Manor so much. I love all of his stuff, but yeah, Haunted on Hill House is like a masterpiece.
Literally, masterpiece. Like,
Yeah,
I just can never go back to who I was before I saw those.
never.
So good.
So
Dude,
you're saying
when
we need to watch them?
you
You
have
gotta be scared. I'm
there's
afraid.
yeah, you'll be scared. Actually, it'll terrify you. It's so good. I'm not going to spoil it, but there's this one episode and it involves dancing. I cried. I'm not kidding. I was sobbing for like 10 minutes. I was so distraught. I had to pause
Why?
it because it was so beautiful and it was so sad and it was so good.
Yeah.
Core
I know.
memory. I can't remember what this is.
So good.
I'm terrified.
Incredible.
I like how it's okay, but I was gonna say I like how it's your like
Yeah.
comfort show, but then again, The Hunger Games is my comfort book, and I don't
Yeah.
think that's really so
You guys are
one of my
crazy.
comfort books.
The Goonies is like my comfort movie. You guys are crazy over here.
Okay, but then
Scared.
I do. It's my childhood. I'm going through things, guys. Therapy.
Yeah.
I would say if I had to choose a not scary movie, Practical Magic is like an easy rewatch always. The Grinch, I know every single line of The Grinch. I love it. I laugh every single time. It's always funny. And those would probably be like my lighthearted
Yeah.
movies
Mhm.
that I like. But Sinners is a new favorite. Like I could actually
Oh
like
yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know if I can watch it yet without crying at the end, but I do
Mhm.
love Sinners. I
Yeah.
also really like Get Out. Again, these are all not
I
easy
do like
watches
that movie.
generally,
Mhm.
but
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
yeah.
All
It's so
really
funny
good.
because I've been making Get Out into a book for another author we had on the podcast. And so like I just rewatched it and I just read it again when I was typesetting it. And I was like, this writing is so good. Like it's such a different when you read
Wait,
it.
the screenplay?
Yeah, I got like the PDF for the script and then I typeset it so it was like a book.
Oh wow.
And so then I read it like a book. Yeah, I have it right here.
That's
somewhere.
crazy.
It's over here. Oh, it's in the
That's-
press right now. But yeah, it's really a different experience when you read it. And I have like the alternate version in it too, so you can read like both endings.
Love both endings.
That's
Mhm.
I'm
crazy.
obsessed. You know what? I read the screenplay for Euphoria, the first, like
Mhm.
the pilot episode. Incredible.
Mhm.
I was like, I can't believe, like, I have different feelings about like the producer and everything now, but prior to all
Mhm.
these things, I was like
Mhm.
reading the pilot for it, and I just was like so shocked. And then also watching the pilot for Euphoria, honestly, was incredible for me. Like that was a surreal experience. And
Mhm.
Zendaya is just like, she's so great.
Perfection.
Literally.
I mean,
Look, I
perfection.
know.
What can you
Perfection.
say? Huh?
What
When
can
did
you
the
say?
new season come out?
I think they're filming right now, aren't they?
Oh, okay.
I think so. I
I-
could be wrong.
I couldn't remember. I mean, I knew they were, but I didn't know when exactly.
Mm-hmm.
She has so many things coming out this next
Mhm.
year.
I know.
I was like, but yeah, okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. This is amazing. We got to like probe.
Sorry, I feel like we could talk to you forever.
I know.
Yeah.
This is true. Well, how about we have you back after you
Yes.
write Blood Moon 2?
Yes,
That would
absolutely.
be
Please.
amazing. That would be amazing.
Mhm,
So
that'd be really
yes,
great.
thank you so much for chatting with us. This was awesome. And thank you everyone for listening. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to we can do some kudos and kind of wrap this up? Yeah.
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 We do kudos at the end of our
Mhm.
episode, and it's just giving thanks for people and things in our lives. So yeah, Stacy, do you want to start?
Yeah, so obviously I want to kudos you for being on the show. We were so pumped when we picked Blood Moon to be our book of the month. I don't even know if we told you this, but it's like we cover a book each month, and so Blood Moon's our book this month for the
November.
podcast. So we'll do a separate episode where we will talk about the book and everything. So we're excited. So it makes it even more special that you could join us tonight. So thank you so much. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
incredible. Wow.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, we forgot to do that.
Yeah, surprise.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Yes, again, my kudos also. Thank you for coming on a Friday night and chatting with us.
Yeah.
Like this was great. Like giving us all these insights about your publishing and yeah, everything. So, and then also thanks Ashley for coming and hanging out. Kudos.
Oh wait, I got to kudos Ashley because someone was mean to me at work yesterday and she's already worked on destroying their life for me. So, and I
Oh
really
my
appreciate
gosh.
that so much. So,
Ashley,
God.
love
In
that.
a nice way, kind of.
It was a man was very mean to me and Ashley made it her mission to make him
Yeah,
sorry.
this
So I'm
little bitty man was just so mean to her for no reason. You can't, anyways.
Why was he little?
Anyways. Yes, Brittany, thank you so much for being on. This has been
Mhm.
amazing. I'm just so excited for everything for you, and you're incredible.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you guys. I honestly, that's where my kudos goes to. Seriously, you guys have been incredible, so nice, awesome questions. And like, I think all my kudos will always go to readers. Like, I just would not
Mhm.
be anywhere without readers and without your deep love for story and community within story. And yeah, forever thanks.
Yay.
Thank you.
Yay. Thank you for everyone for listening again. This was awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks guys. Everyone have a good week and nerds, make sure that you read what you like.
Woohoo.
Do you know where the button is?
I do know the button is.